of the Chinese troops and how Chinese troops came armed with machetes. Did the PLA troops want a repeat of the Galwan Valley clash? These are exclusive pictures with Republic TV. And Abhishek is joining us with more details. They were armed with machetes. Armed with machetes, they wanted a Galwan type clash. Now, that is something that's proven in these pictures, Abhishek.
Narendra, yesterday we had this statement from the Western Theatre Command of the Chinese, in which they said that some countermeasures were taken. Now, these pictures taken by cameras of the Indian Army clearly show the kind of countermeasures these Chinese were taken. I mean, imagine primitive weapons, machetes, and all those clubs with studded with nails. Essentially, perhaps a repeat of Galwan was there in the minds of these Chinese soldiers. In the classic double speak, while the Chinese say that there is provocation and that we would be taking countermeasures, there is a clear plan to indulge in violence and break all understandings and agreements since 1993. This is the level to which the Chinese are stooping in whatever madness has gripped their military and communist leaders. I hope the world community watching these pictures and takes note of the barbarianism that has taken hold of the Chinese mindset since April and May. I mean, these pictures really speak for themselves in terms of the kind of aggression and the kind of belligerence that is there in the mind of China for unilaterally altering the line of actual control in the Ladakh sector. And while, of course, the Indian Army is absolutely ready to defend and take care of India's sovereignty there in those hostile terrains, what is important is that the world also gets to see the intent of the Chinese in terms of breaking international rule of law. Remember all these understandings that have been reached between the two sides since 1993 in terms of border management and the protocols governing the rules of engagement on the LAC do not allow the use of these instruments and the use of these instruments to indulge in violence in any manner. This is clearly breach of all those agreements. That's what the government of India has also been maintaining. As I said, the world should take note of these pictures and hopefully prevail upon the Chinese. This comes on the eve of a meeting between External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar and Chinese counterpart Wang Yi in Russia on the sidelines of the ongoing SCO ministerial consultations, Shanghai Cooperation Organization consultations. And it is hoped that this would be raised in right earnest and the intent of the Chinese question.
Yeah. Abhishek, just talking over these pictures, and I'd like you to stay with us because we'll also try and get some, expert voices on this. What do these pictures show? These pictures show PLA troops armed with machetes. You see those, what they're holding in their hands? Those are some sort of primitive weapons that they're holding in their hands. On top of that weapon is a machete, sharp-edged machete. Very clear that they were armed for a Galwan-type clash. These are pictures from near Rezangla in southern Pangong Tso area, where most of the reports of the face-off has been reported. And these are pictures that we have accessed from Monday. This is Monday evening, which means it was less than 24 hours ago. And their successful, their attempts have been successfully thwarted by the Indian Army. Now, what is the status of this face-off, Abhishek? What is the status of the face-off? Because Chinese claims of India opening fire have been countered by the Indian Army, which has put on record that China even lied about that. It was in fact them who fired in the air.
Exactly. So, what has happened is on the intervening night of 29th and 30th of August, the Indian Army preempted move by the Chinese to take those ridge lines between south of Pangong Tso and Rechil La Pass, and that's about 2-3 kilometer area where the ridges have been now taken by the Indian Army. and that gives India a vantage so far as, for example, the Moldo base camp of the Chinese is concerned, which has really riled the Chinese leadership because they thought that they should be dictating the terms, which obviously is not the case after India's experience in Galwan and the subsequent double-speak of the Chinese in all the commander level and diplomatic talks that have taken place. They are saying something and doing something else on the ground. So now when they have got a taste of their own medicine, it seems that a riled and frustrated Chinese commander level leadership decided to indulge in some kind of, this kind of barbaric gundaism perhaps. And that's why the Indian army had to stop them. And as has been made clear by the Indian Army statement earlier in the day, that at no stage the army transgressed across the LSC or resorted to any use of aggressive means, including fire.
Yeah.
Were doing. So I think it's a very fluid situation, it's a tense situation. We are told that there are a couple of places where it's an eyeball-to-eyeball situation with soldiers of both the sides, maybe between 200 to 300 meters apart. But if the Chinese don't stop this, it's going to remain tense, even perhaps increase also. That's why I think it's important that the world community takes note of the manner in which the Chinese are really improvising to make sure that they are in breach of all the agreements and yet try to show that they did not fire. I mean, these machines are proof of that.
Abhishek, thank you for joining us with those inputs. Let me go across to Brigadier Mahalingam as well. Brigadier Mahalingam, when you look at these pictures, you can only imagine how they were armed in Galwan. Brigadier Mahalingam gives you a glimpse of how the Chinese liars, how they've betrayed the trust that India has showed in the talks that have been ongoing for several months now in Ladakh. They were armed with machetes, primitive weapons, stones. They're standing behind a pile of stones as well. But more importantly, I think the stark images of the machetes in their hand.
See, the point is, as far as the Chinese are concerned, they have proved beyond doubt that they cannot be trusted. That is one thing. Second aspect is, as far as the army is concerned, when you go into the forward areas, it never goes without their arms. It is impossible to understand as far as I am concerned. I am an old-timer. For the people to go to the battlefield without weapons, it never happens. But nevertheless, probably because of the compulsions, political compulsions, as also because of the voice from the Ministry of External Affairs, this was agreed to. Now that they have fired, there is no reason or question as to why the army should move around in the battle area without weapons. And not only personal weapons that are required, artillery weapons must be laid and targets registered, and they must carry their forward observation officers along with them. Because what is important to understand is that the Chinese can do anything that is treacherous, which will cost the lives of our soldiers. That is unacceptable as far as we are concerned. Therefore, the troops will have to be protected. If you have to protect them, you will have to give them the weapons and the wherewithal. Secondly, we must also understand, probably because of we getting ahead of Chinese and preempting their occupation of certain lands, that we have occupied certain places, the Chinese may attempt anything. That must be clearly understood. One will have to wait and see as to when and where they will do it. Under these circumstances, to send the troops without weapons is shocking, and it is almost committing suicide. Therefore, I would recommend that the troops must be armed. We must go with the proper weapons, and above everything else, mortars and artillery weapons must be laid, targets registered, and also the forward observation officers carried along.
Okay. Brigadier Mahalingam, I think, it's important that the global community also sees these pictures, because China is trying to sort of lie using its, vast resources, media houses, all mouthpieces to claim that India fired. But these pictures tell you a different story. So we leave it at that. Thank you, Brigadier Mahalingam, for joining us. These are pictures from near Rizangla in the southern Pangong So area where the face-off was reported. What these pictures show are PLA troops, nearly 30 to 40 of them in this picture holding machetes. Reminder of the kind of face-off that we had at the Galwan Valley. Did they want a Galwan type face off once again. We'll take a short break on that note and come back with the live coverage from Mumbai, where Riya Chakrabarti has been arrested and is undergoing a medical examination. Those are pictures from near Rizangla. Taking a short break. Stay with us.